So I did say that I was not going to do any videos about behaviors in this drama circle for a while, but here we are. So I guess I fibbed. But I did say if something, kind of major popped up that I might be doing one. And I did want to do this outside, um, but it is loud. We have the HOA comes in and, they do some of the, you know, um, their portion of the lawn that they need to take care of that doesn't belong to us. So it's loud outside. So I'm doing it in a quiet area so you can hear me. And, I haven't done a video in what, 6 days, 7 days, something like that. I'm not even sure. And the last video I did was about, Glenn's vile behavior, vile video, whatever that he did. And I just want to say that I still stick to, my words. I stand behind them. I do find it a little ironic. I mean, I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But after I did that video, I did lose about 10 subs um, to people that support Glenn or that are in that community. It's fine with me, but I'm sorry. I stick to what I say. I found it very vile, and he went real life on somebody, and I don't agree with it. I don't care who you are. I just don't. And I had some people come in and make comments, and I said, you're welcome to make comments. I know some people deleted their comments, but they want to ask, well, what about this and what about that? What about this person saying this on this channel or whatever? And I've said it before. If I don't see it, I can't talk about it, right? I'm one person, and I'm not on YouTube all the time. And I can't be everywhere. I have no mods. I don't have eyes and ears everywhere. So I don't know what you expect out of me. And then, I've had people say, well, if you don't have the time for it and you can't be everywhere, then why do you have a channel? So I'm going to be mean when I say because I can, right? I just don't know what to say about that. If I see it, I'm going to talk about it. If I feel that it's worth talking about and that it's a behavior that just should, it should not be done, and it was vile enough to talk about, I don't care who you are, I'm going to call it out. And I'm sorry, I still stand by it. I did see a little bit about, now I don't know if it happened or not, but, there was talk that somebody was going to go real life on Glenn, as in calling his job, I guess, over that video. And Mandy C called it out. And he was in that video talking about Mandy C. And she called it out and said, no, it's not right. I don't care. Even though, he was talking about me and Granny and voices, and he went real life on Mrs. P. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with going real life on him and going after his job. So I want no part of it. And, I don't want to be blamed for this. So I guess what she did is, when she thought that, hey, I do have a past and people know about it, and I'm an easy target for this to be, if it's true, for whatever she was sent, if it's true, I'm going to record this call because, Mandy is an easy target because of her past. And so she put it out there. And I do have to say, I see a big change in Mandy. Now, I remember Mandy back when she was making videos to begin with on Natasha. And yes, I know about Mandy's past, and I know what she said about Natasha's family and all that stuff. But here's the thing, and I even talked about it on one of my other videos, that, if someone said those kind of things about me and my family, they would never be in my circle. But Natasha forgave her, right? She forgave her, welcomed her back in the community, and I think Mandy left for a while, then came back. She welcomed her back. She said she was sorry, and that she changed. She's not that person anymore. She grew from that. And Natasha was okay with her. Everybody in her community was okay with her. Other creators that bonded with Natasha, I'm sure they have already seen all those videos, okay? They were okay with her until Natasha and Mandy had a falling out again. And then they want to bring all those videos up and say, this is the real Mandy C, this is how she is. And everybody acts so surprised and, oh my gosh, she did that? You guys already know, okay? And they're like, well, this is the real Mandy C. I don't see that. I have listened to some of Mandy's videos. I do not see this crazy Mandy. I see a pretty calm Mandy. I feel like she has grown. She has matured. And even when she gets angry, okay, she is pretty calm compared to a lot of creators. And especially for her age, okay, because I think she's one of the youngest. And she acts more mature than a lot of the older creators. So we don't see this Mandy that some of the creators keep wanting to bring up her mental health and telling her she needs to get on meds. Just in my opinion, some of these other creators that are saying that might want to check their own mental health, because I'm not seeing this out of Mandy. All right, I'm not. So I just wanted to put that out there. I am seeing a calmer Mandy, and if she was the same person that she was back then, she would be all for going real life on Glenn. She would. So, especially after that video. But she wasn't. She was against it. And I have said that every creator and every sub should be against going real life. All right? They should be against doxing. They should be against going after family members, after jobs. They should be against all that. Go tit for tat. Go after each other if you want to. Okay? But leave other people out of it. Leave jobs out of it. Leave kids out of it. Leave family members out of it. Friends out of it. Leave all that crap out of it. But see, we know a lot of people just can't do it. They can't. And in my opinion, it's because they need content. Some might say, well, I can talk about, whatever on my channel and I'll get all these views. But then why don't you? You can't. Because eventually people are going to get bored. They are. It might take a little while because some people are so loyal to their creator. But I don't know. Some people got it and some people don't. But I just wanted to put that out there. And I don't blame Mandy for taping the conversation she did tape, because she didn't do it to begin with. She explained that once it was mentioned that somebody was, thinking about going real life, then she's like, oh, wait a minute. She knows she's an easy target. I'm gonna tape record this. Just like I do not blame Granny's watching for tape recording the conversation she had with Lycan. And I know a lot of people are like, that's a new low. You have to tape record a conversation. I can't believe you did that. I mean, over the weekend, um, I already said I had a lot of outside work to do, staining my deck, staining my dog's fence that I built. I spent the whole weekend outside. It was beautiful. And I had my phone out there and I was listening here and there to different channels, different communities, whatever. And my first thought was, does anybody take a break? You know, um, there was people going, live after live, uh, just on this channel, that channel. A lot of people, they've already put out there that they have young children, but you see the same names, just going on panel after panel, or they're in chats continuously, and it's pretty obvious that they do spend most of their time on YouTube, and I guess that's fine. I mean, if that's the way you want to live your life, that's okay. I mean, some people that might be all they have, but like I said, a lot of people have put out there, they're like an open book. They put out there that they do have, children or spouses or whatever, but they are on YouTube. It's pretty clear, day and night. I mean, all day, all night. Well, I can't say all night, but they're on there because most of the time I have to get the replay. I don't catch lives that often, so I get the replay. But anyways, so moving on from that, like I said, your business, do what you want. I don't have time for that, so that is why I don't catch what everybody does. So I can't call out everybody and all their bad behaviors. I just can't. But with Granny and her recording, I did see a lot of people talking about, I can't believe somebody would stoop so low to do a recording, and it's illegal, and blah blah blah. Go ahead and try to do something about it, because it will probably get laughed out of court if you tried. But I don't blame her either, because lies were put out about her by Lycan, and he admitted it. And you know the ladies out there, all right, the ones that are saying, I would never do that, I can't believe she did that, and who would do that? And you would, if let's go real life here and say that you had a significant other and y'all broke up, and this person said that you sent a picture of your hoo-ha, and it looks like it needed attention from your gynecologist, and you didn't send that picture. Now, Granny already said that she sent a picture of her butt and her boobs, okay? But she said, I did not send him any of, I did not send that to him. And, he waited some time before he said she sent this, and he made content out of it. And then we had Natasha make content out of it, and she went on one of her lives when it was first put out there, and talked about it, and her community talked about it for a very long time, and also did other lives as well, talking about Jessica's hoo-ha and what it looked like. And so you have other creators making content off another woman's lady bits, okay? Which I find pretty bizarre as well. I mean, you have nothing else to talk about but private parts. You're going to use it for content, really? So, I mean, if that's what your people in your community enjoy talking about, okay then, or listening to, have at it, I guess. Pretty disgusting, but okay. So, anyways, um, whenever Lycan called her out of the blue, after all this tit for tat, I already said, this is a drama community. You can go tit for tat at people, but this was a lie. All right. And she wanted to get out of him. He called her, so it was a perfect time to try to get out of him that it was a lie. Now, back to the real life. If you had a significant other, like I said, and you didn't send him this picture, but he's telling your friends, telling people that you don't like, maybe family members, telling the whole town that you sent this picture to him, and like I said, that you needed to go see a gynecologist because it was so nasty. And it's being spread around, and it's a talk of the town. And you have no proof, none, that you did not send this picture, okay? It's damaging your reputation. Um, you know, no guy's gonna, want to really go out with you because, well, as you can imagine. So, and everybody is just, it's the talk of the town. All right. And then also about the journal. Jessica Lynn did admit, okay, she finally admitted that she did give it to Lycan. But he is the one, no matter how you want to twist it and turn it, he put it out there. And people want to forget about that. Jessica did not hold a gun to his head. She did not twist his arm. He put it out there. Now, he did apologize. Jessica Lynn has apologized. They both have. But people still want to put it on Jessica Lynn, right? Because she gave it to him. A lot of people, I'm sure, have that journal. The journal pages, whatever. But he's the one that put it out there. That's what people, he wants to sidestep that too. And, well, I did it. She gave it to me. She kind of, whatever. No, you put it out there, Lycan. You did it. All right. Now, I have nothing against Lycan. We might not see eye to eye on some of the things he says or does or whatever, but he put it out there. He could have said, nope, I'm not going that low. I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it for content. I'm just not. Now, I kind of get he was upset because Natasha did say she was going to put out his porn. All right. Now, she wants to say it's not revenge porn, but I remember that live, and all through it, she was getting her people, anticipation going. She said she had pictures of Jessica Lynn because Jessica already said that she sent Lycan pictures of her butt and her boobs. Okay, she said it. So when they had this breakup, I mean, people already made content over, their relationship, and they made content over their breakup too. So she has no idea if pictures were sent to Natasha or not, because Natasha said she had them, and she said, she did say, cam up, Jessica Lynn, or I'll show these pictures. And all through this live, she was also saying that she was going to put out Lycan's porn. It is porn, okay? If it is a naked picture of you, naked picture, or you doing anything self-pleasuring, whatever, that is porn. It is. It's, in the eyes of the law, it's considered porn. So that's why, just to say, that's why, like, underage kids, they are warned, and there's been cases, there has, where they have sent naked pictures of themselves. They think they're sending it to their boyfriends, and their boyfriends spread it around or whatever. Um, it's considered kiddie porn. And there have been cases where the child that sent it, like the girl, or it could be the boy, but there's been cases where the girl that sent it out has actually got in trouble by the law for sending child porn of herself out on the net. Okay, so I'm not going to get into all that, but she did say that she was going to do it, and it was like an anticipation all throughout the live. So you have Lycan and Jessica Lynn that are just like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Now, of course, common sense would probably say that Natasha wouldn't have done this because her channels would go down. You know, ironic that I just said that, but anyways. So I guess Lycan wanted some revenge. She did show something there at the end, but covered private parts up. But why she wanted to put it out to begin with, I don't even know. Okay? I've already said before, I don't know how many times, if you are sent something on somebody that is private, okay, that's not on YouTube, if it has to do with a minor, especially a minor, um, delete it. Get it out of your computer. Get it out of your phone. Um, be the bigger person. Have some morals. But people don't want to do that. And before anybody wants to jump my butt, okay, I have said this about the journal. I have said this about Granny's daughter. I have said this about Granny's father. I have said this about Natasha's private stuff. I have called it out. See that there's a difference here, and we're going to talk about that a little later. Because some people only want to call out things when it has nothing to do, if it's not their person they're loyal to. That's why I don't belong to a community. Okay? Because I can see it and call it out. But I can do it in a way that I am not dragging somebody, and we'll talk about that later too. So anyways, back to what I'm talking about. Lycan put it out there. He did it himself. So when Granny, okay, recorded that conversation, she got out of him that he lied. Because when she asked him about that picture, she's like, you told lies. And he said, about what? And she goes, that vag picture, I didn't send it to you. I didn't send you that. And he's like, oh yeah, that was shit talk. That right there told you that he lied. Because if she really sent that to him, he would have said, but Jessica, why are you lying? You sent that to me. But he didn't. He said, yeah, that was shit talk. But he is still going on and talking about it, even though that recording has been put out there. He's still going on as if it's truth that she sent him that picture, because people have asked him straight up, did she send you that? And he'll say, well, she sent me nudes. But they're asking him that picture, and he sidesteps that. All he has to do is own it and say, no, it was shit talk. No, it wasn't sent to me. It wasn't. But, the back and forth between the two is so toxic right now. That could end. It could. Because, just like with the journal, okay, he's the one that put it out there. He did. They both have apologized. Nothing can be done to take that back. It's done. But the thing is it's so toxic between the two. And he spread that around, which was, he lied, all right? And other people were using it for content. So he was mad that Jessica recorded that call and put it out there to show that he lied. So then he went and put up a picture. You guys want to see what Jessica Lynn looks like without makeup? And then puts up a picture, an older version of Jessica Lynn. Now, um, I'm sorry, but Lycan, you need to own that one too because that was a doctored picture. And how can we say that's a doctored picture? Because um, I can give many reasons why, but I'm just going to give a few. Now we see a video of her at the zoo, and I'm sure she has her phone. I'm sure she doesn't have her laptop. And I'm sure you can put filters uh, on your phone or whatever. But she's filming the animals and her surroundings, and then she does a quick, you can flip it over to do like a selfie or whatever, and shows her face and says hello real quick, and then turns it back over and films again. So can you have a selfie or have a filter mode on it that quick and turn it back over? I don't know. I'm not tech savvy, so could be possible. Have no clue. But I mean, there's that example. But then, I mean, the biggest example would be we all seen the cam slip, right? Okay? Because Natasha's video, they had to, zoom in and they had to critique Jessica Lynn's eyebrows, ears, nose, teeth, eyes, everything. We do not see this older version of Jessica Lynn, okay? Um, and that was an oops moment. That was not a staged cam slip. You can absolutely tell it wasn't. We don't see this older version of Jessica Lynn. Yes, it was a little bit dark, but you would still see the older version, okay? And there's nothing wrong with getting older. Y'all, it's going to happen. We're going to get wrinkles. I'm sorry. I got them. I earned them. It's going to happen. But what I'm saying is to actually just to put out the lies and say this is a fact for content and then have everybody else grab it and use it as content, that's not right. So he did that because of the recording. He's upset about the recording, but that was her only way, I'm sorry, to prove that what he put out was a lie, and people are still running with that lie. But we also see one of the first pictures that they got of Jessica Lynn, that somebody on Natasha's team either sent Natasha, somebody grabbed it, either it was on her team or somebody sent it or whatever. They got into Jessica Lynn's grandmother's Facebook and took a picture and sent it to Natasha. And they zoomed in on Jessica Lynn. She was what, at bingo with her grandmother? You don't see an older version of Jessica Lynn. Okay, so just saying. They have those apps. I've seen it on Facebook where you can tell what you look like when you're older. Um, anyways, it was one of those age enhancement photos. Okay, you can absolutely tell it was. So we're going to move on from that. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I was going to do, actually, I did say that in my last video, I believe that I did a very long video and I was covering a lot of topics and I had an issue with uploading the video. It just was taking hours and hours because I accidentally messed up my Wi-Fi and wasn't connected, and that's what the problem was. So I just deleted it. And this was covering a lot of this, and I wasn't going to redo the video. So I'm not going to go over everything because that's not what I'm going to talk about. I just wanted to point those few things out because, some of the lies has to stop. They do. And I know Jessica Lynn came back and put out, after he did that, she put out a picture of him with his shirt off. And he's calling that porn. Now, Lycan, I get it. It was a personal picture she put out of you, and you're not happy with that because it was a personal picture. But to call it porn, I mean, he has his shirt off. It looks like he's in his boxers or shorts or whatever. But here's the thing, men are allowed to walk around without their shirts on. We see it all the time. Now, we as women, we can't get away with that, right? We would get arrested if we walked around without our shirts off. Um, Unless we're breastfeeding, we're not allowed to show our tatas, okay? Or it would be indecent exposure. So I know it seems like it's not fair that us women can't walk around without our shirts on, but you know that's how it is. We're not allowed to show our tatas. So it's not porn, okay? It's just a man without a shirt on. Now I understand it was a personal picture that you sent to her, and you know, like and said, well, um, I put out pictures of her, but you know, she was fully dressed or whatever. You doctored one of her pictures up. Now, I know this is tit for tat going back and forth, and you know, Jessica Lynn maybe shouldn't have put that picture out. And I know she put another one out of a leg and maybe covered up some private area, and all of it is a leg and some toes, and she's talking about some, you know, ick going on. Again, this is tit for tat, but you know what? You said you lied about her South Dakota, and people made it as content. I mean, what did you expect? That she wasn't going to come back with this? Now, me personally, I don't know. I'm not in for this going back and forth like this and going real life. I'm not about that. But there's got to be a way to stop that, okay? And you two need to work it out. And I even said that in that phone call after you guys got done talking about what you got, you know, we're talking about, that Lycan seemed like a really nice guy, and it sounded like just two friends talking after, you know, all the BS was done. It just sounded like two friends talking back and forth. You know, maybe it can get to that point again after all this BS stops. And I don't know. I have hopes there. I do. If it just stops. Stop going real life on each other. Okay? And when I say that, I mean stop the lies and, you know, stop putting out pictures and, you know, maybe, I don't know. Um, Moving on from there. Okay? Because that's not what this video is supposed to be about. It's not. We're going to talk about what it's supposed to be about is really going low, low, low. Okay? Putting out medical health records. All right? Now, people can say what they want. I seen some people in chat say, well, these are tests. They're not part of medical health records. Yes, they are. Okay? Yes, they are. I see some people that say they're nurses and work in the medical field. Anybody that works in the medical field knows tests that are ordered, test results, all of that is part of medical records. Okay? So what was shown was part of medical records. It all goes into their medical record file, okay? I'm not going to explain how that all works. Like, but yeah, I will. Say Jessica Lynn, she, let's just say she files for disability. Okay, she ain't gonna, I'm sure. But let's say she does, okay? And she needs all of her medical records, all right? That's going to be part of it. Say she needs her medical records for the last year, 2 years. That thing that Natasha's showing, that's going to be in there. Those are tests that are ordered. That's part of her medical records. So people that are in chat saying, those aren't medical records. Oh my goodness. Okay then. They're part of medical records. Just saying. So, now people have said that they have told me that they think I'm a biased channel. I guess maybe I'm starting to turn that way because I cannot handle and condone this, and it seems to um, it's getting worse. It's getting worse from this community, and I'm going to tell you why. And here's the thing, though. I have called out bad behavior. I did with Jessica Lynn with the journal. Okay. I did when I did a video about the token. I'm not even going to say the last thing. I did it when Voices was going after, said something about going after Hannah's uh, college. Okay. I have stuck up for Natasha many times when some dirty things have been done to her. Some people just need to maybe listen to the videos. All right. But here's the difference. When I have called out bad behavior on other people, I don't have their people come at me and say, well, what about this and what about that? And did you hear this there or there or whatever? I actually had Jessica Lynn come in and she commented on the video I did about the token, whatever. And she apologized. And she did explain that she was doing in a rhyming, trying to do it in a rhyming thing, but she was heated and that her choice of words was bad. She should have never used that word. And she apologized. Okay? She did. She did that in my comment section. Okay? I've had Jessica Lynn disagree with me. She disagreed with me. She's like, I kindly disagree with you on this or whatever. But she was very respectful. All right. I've had some of her people say that they've disagreed with me on certain things, or if Jessica Lynn, some of the things that I talked about, they're like, yeah, what she said was not cool. But see, here's the difference. They can say what she said wasn't cool, but they still support her. And Jessica Lynn is okay that they say, okay, what she said wasn't cool. We don't like that, but we still support her. And we can tell her that we're not okay with what you said. We're not cool with that. And she might have said something in the heat of the moment that wasn't so, wasn't so nice, wasn't, everybody's cup of tea. And they can actually say it without her losing her cookies and kicking them to the curb and saying, get the hell out of here. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Now, I've had people come in here and a lot of them have deleted their comments. If I have talked about Natasha's bad behavior, they have condoned the behavior and they have directed me to go watch this or that on somebody else doing something else when I am talking about a certain person. It might not just have been Natasha. It might be like when I was talking about Glenn. Well, what about this person? They did this or they did that. And I'm like, well, again, I'm only one person. I don't have mods. I don't have people, sending me messages or texting me or this or that. I can't watch everything. I don't see everything all the time. I'm not on YouTube all the time. But they will come at me. I mean, they don't attack me. Don't get me wrong. But, well, some can get a little rude, but they are, yes, white knight and big time, but they don't see the behavior wrong at all. They will condone it. And what I find, again, ironic is I seen some, you recognize some names over and over and over again, right? And when Glenn did that video, um, a lot of the people that supported Glenn were not okay with it, and they voiced it that they were not okay with that video and what he said and what he did going live on Mrs. P. Until Natasha did her live and she had him up there and she condoned it, then the same people were in chat and they were fine with it. Yes, I seen that. They were fine with his words and what he did. So, anyways, moving on. I just wanted to put that out there. That's why I guess I am turning a little bit. And I don't want to. I don't want to be someone that is biased. Because when Natasha is not dragging people or bashing or whatever, I like watching her channel. Not gonna lie. She can be very funny, and I've said that before. And there are things that when she was doing her true crime on, and I can't even think of the name of it, of the boys on her, where she lives at, what happened to the boys. I watched some of that. I was really getting interested in that. I just haven't had a time to listen to it all. And that's what I'm saying. You don't have to uh, dislike somebody, hate somebody. All right. But you cannot, you can dislike some of their behavior and say their behavior is way out of control, but you can still enjoy some of their content. Now, in my opinion, she's going way too far. Now, Natasha, she has a history. She has a history with money. She has a history of attacking. She has a history of really going below the belt with people she has a falling out with and putting their personal information that they told her out there. This is a history with her, and it goes back years, okay? It's nothing new. If you have paid attention and watched and observed. So back to this medical history, medical information she put out. She was sent this. Again, she should have deleted it. It's none of her business, okay? She was sent this by Jessica's ex-mod, who I remember she used to be with Kay. She wasn't a nice person when she was with Kay. Don't know why she wanted to turn on Granny. She was a mod for Natasha. Okay? Go figure. But it doesn't matter, why she did what she did. But again, Granny thought that she was sending this to a friend. Now, here's the ironic part. People are saying, well, Granny put it out there. Okay? Granny put it out there first, by sending it to Tammy, and then Tammy shared it, and then Natasha put it out. Well, okay, Natasha supporters, isn't that the same thing as Natasha putting out the journal first? Because she thought she was sending it to friends. Now, I already said that I thought Natasha was reaching out to her good friends and saying, hey, I don't know what to do here. But see, I would never do that with people on YouTube. Go to your family, go to your real life friends, go to a caseworker, because people flip-flop so bad on YouTube, it's not funny. But it's the same thing. So if you're going to blame Granny for putting out her medical record here, medical test, same thing, it's part of her medical record, to who she thought was her friend because she was concerned, flipped out, whatever. And then that person passes it on, and then another creator puts it out. It's the same thing as this journal. Natasha put it out first. So if we're going to blame Granny for putting out her medical records here, then you're going to have to blame Natasha, right? Instead of the actual people that put it out, which is Lycan and Natasha. Natasha put out her medical records, and Lycan put out the journal. Okay? How clear can I be? You can't have it both ways. You cannot have it both ways to fit your narrative. But some people want to because they have to be so loyal. And again, like I said, I've already called out, I've called out Granny, okay, on some of the things that she did. I've called out Natasha on some of the things that she did. I called out Mrs. P on some of the things she did. I have stood up for Natasha on a lot. If you look at my videos, I've stood up on with Natasha when things were done to her that I thought were wrong, more than anybody, I think. Even though I'd done videos on her, I think I stood up for her more than anybody. So, moving along. She wants to call Granny a liar, that she doesn't have cancer. She does not have cancer. She knows this for a fact because of this piece of paperwork and the timing. So we're going to do a little schooling, okay? Just a little bit of schooling for people in the back about how to read what she put out. First off, we're only seeing, it says 1 of 3. Where's the other 2 papers? Now, could there be a top cover page? Doesn't look like it's a fax. I don't know. Where's the other pages? We're only seeing 1 page. I don't know what's on the other pages. Right? Natasha doesn't know what's on the other pages. 1 of 3. What did the other pages say? I don't know. It's none of my business. But we're going to talk about a few things. Now, it's been, 2 months ago when this was done. Now, Jessica, I'm sure she's not in the medical field, okay? She might not know a lot about the medical field. That's probably not her forte, right? And she's about the same age as my daughter. My daughter went through this. Now, my daughter, when she went in to have, because my daughter was having, don't want to get too graphic here, a lot of bleeding, okay? So she went in and tried to figure out what's going on. Now, I told my daughter, because, again, not trying to get too graphic, but it kind of runs in my side of the family, to go into perimenopause early. It happened to me. And menopause early happened to me. I went through peri for like 10 years. And, yeah, very early. So, and my mother also had cervical cancer. Now, I didn't meet my mother until later in life, but she beat cervical cancer I didn't know her back then. I just have to go by what my siblings have told me. I'm the youngest of seven. I've already stated that before. She beat it, and she passed away. I believe she was 72 of Parkinson's. So, but it's in our medical history. So I had to pass that on to my daughter, as well as myself. It's in my medical history. And my grandmother, which is my mother's mother, she passed away with breast cancer, but she was older. Um, she was also in her late 70s when she passed away. So, anyways, when my daughter went in, she lives in a different state than I do, but she had a nurse practitioner, okay, that did her pap smear. Now, I also have a nurse practitioner. I have a gynecologist, but when I go in for mine, it's a nurse practitioner. And if people want to say, oh no, nurse practitioners can't do that, yes, they can. Look it up. Mine's a nurse practitioner that does it. I've only had to see my gynecologist, I think, maybe 3 times. And that's when I was having issues. Okay? But you only have to go in every 3 years. All right? Unless you're having issues. Then you might have to make an appointment. Us, we women, we know how it goes, right? So my daughter went in, and she was having this unusual stuff going on. And she had a very insensitive nurse practitioner. And she told my daughter that when she did the pap, did the felt, you women know what I'm talking about. All right. The first time that she went in, she's having this unusual bleeding. She told her she was too young to be going through peri. All right. She told her that she thought that she could have cervical cancer just by the bleeding that she was having, by what she was seeing. She, did the internal exam, all of that stuff. My daughter called me crying her eyes out, and she said, Mom, I have cervical cancer. Because this nurse practitioner that did her pap smear had her, I'm sure the nurse practitioner didn't tell her, you have it, okay? But she said that the possibility was high. Had her scared. So they sent her off for test, okay? And they found out that she did have HPV and that she needed more tests. She needed to have her cervix scraped and it looked at and all that stuff. But here's the thing. They had my daughter scared thinking she had cervical cancer. Like I said, they probably did not tell her you have it, but that, I think you know what I'm saying. My daughter is not, in the medical field or anything like that. She a little bit naive about all that stuff. So it freaked her out. All right. So I told her, I said, hold on. They can't tell. They have to do tests, and then when they found out that she had HPV, when that came back, then she was really freaking out because, they told her, HPV can lead to cervical cancer. We're going to, scrape. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do some blood work. Then she was really freaked out. Mom, I got it. I got it. I got cervical cancer. I said, no, it does not mean it that you have cervical cancer. Okay. Let's just wait until the test results come back. They came back. She was fine. She did not have it. What happened? She is in peri. She's in perimenopause. Okay? And it's kind of hard to find out if you're in peri because, see, our hormones change throughout the day. So when they do lab work too, um, some sometimes they'll order hormone level test, and your hormones are changing throughout the day. So, anyways, sometimes it's really hard to find out by blood work too if you're in peri. She had all the symptoms just like me. Her hormone levels were whack. Okay, so she is in peri menopause. She can be in it for a long period of time. I was in it for over 10 years going through it. So, anyways, in my daughter's case, she had a very insensitive nurse practitioner that scared her. Not saying, don't worry, you know, this is kind of routine. HPV is, if you have it, a lot of women do, and it can lead to cervical cancer. We're just going to do all the tests. She didn't have a very sensitive nurse practitioner. So, anyways, that was my daughter's story. That's not Jessica Lynn's story. Everybody's different, everybody's unique, and that's another thing that I'm seeing. I just wanted to share that uh, because everybody's different. And I see a lot of things going on in chat saying, oh, well, my friend had this and my friend had that. My family member had this and they had that. And this is how their treatment went. And if she had cervical cancer, she would be going through this. And I went through it and this is what I went through. No, everybody is different. Okay. Now, Jessica Lynn, when she went in and they ordered these tests, all right, I wasn't there. Nobody was there. Um, she could have been told something just like this nurse practitioner told my daughter, scared her to death, all right, and then ordered all these tests. Now, I know when I go in for mine, I've never had an abnormal one. I'm lucky. I am very lucky. I've never had an abnormal pap smear. But when you go in, and I'm sure a lot of women, and I know a lot of women go in and they have an abnormal one. And that doesn't mean anything. But when Jessica Lynn went in this first time, all right, and I think she said that she already had HPV. Don't quote me on that. That can lead to cervical cancer. So when she went in and she's got this heavy bleeding going on, that's not good. All right, it's not good when you have that going on. Something's not right. Something is wrong. Um, if there's heavy bleeding like that. I mean, it might not be major, but something is not right with the body. Something's off if a woman has unusual bleeding. I mean, you got to listen to your body, okay? You got to listen to your body. So she could have had somebody that told her, you very well could have cervical cancer. This is a major sign of cervical cancer. So Jessica Lynn is thinking just like my daughter did when she went in for the first time and was ordered all these tests. I got cervical cancer. And this is at the very beginning. I got cervical cancer, just like my daughter. Okay? And I know when I go in for a pap, they don't order all this blood work. I mean, they do the regular pap, right? Get those legs up in the stirrup, and you get your swabs, right? And they do the external and internal pushing, probbing, looking, and I'm done. And then I get my results back. They check for, you know, certain things. I'm not going to say what they check for, but you women know what they check for. All right. And one of them is cervical cancer, because they do scrape a little bit of your uterus, or not your uterus, they scrape a little bit of your cervix each time you do a pap smear. That's one of the major things that they check for with your pap smear. So this person could have scared her, and then when they order all these tests, okay? I mean, they're doing um, pathology and sociology. They're looking for something. I mean, that's scary in itself. When they say that we're going to dig that deep, that's pretty scary. So when they told her that we're doing all this on a pap smear, okay, we're looking for cancer with the pathology and, whatever. They could have scared her to death. And she's thinking, I just was told I had cancer. It could have been as simple as that. And people are taking it as she's lying when she first said I was diagnosed with cancer. Just like when my daughter came to me and said the same words. Was my daughter lying to me? No. She wasn't lying to me. She took it as what the nurse practitioner told her. Like I said, it might not have been word for word, but she's basically, thinking in her head she's got cancer from what she was told. And all these tests that they're ordering, because she's not in the medical field, she doesn't know all these terminologies. So we're going to move on from that. All right. If nobody can understand that, if anybody has went in for test and you're young, okay, you go in for test and they're abnormal and they tell you there's a good possibility you could have cancer, and you're thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, I got cancer. I got cancer. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it happened to me once. Not that kind of cancer. Well, actually, I'm kind of looking at something now. They're just kind of keeping an eye on it every 6 months. Okay? But yeah, and you freak out about it and you think, oh my gosh, you know, and I do. I freak out every time I go in. But, and when I read the paper, my results and everything, I'm like, okay, because I know how to read them. But it doesn't mean she lied. All right? So we're going to move on from that. I mean, just think about it. From what she could have been told. Again, we're missing a couple of pieces of paper there, but these are tests that they sent out. And they look like, to me, more tests than I've ever had with the pap smear. Okay? More tests than I've ever had. Some people might be different. They might say these are routine tests that I've had. I'm sorry, they're not with me. Okay? I just had mine done last year. I won't have to go in for 2 more years. I didn't have to have any lab work. I didn't have they didn't even do a urine on me. So, I don't know. So, anyways, we're going to move on from that. Now, other people want to say, well, oh yeah, I heard too that because she said that she was going to get her results and she should have already had them. That's not what she said. She says she already has her results. She was getting it to show everybody. If I was Jessica Lynn, I wouldn't show anybody. Nobody needs to know. And they're like, well, she can log into a portal and get her information. Some people don't have that. I just got mine 2 years ago because I just didn't want to have it. My daughter doesn't have one, where you can log in. I'm not going to say what mine's called, okay? But you can log in and you can get all your test results. Instead of calling your doctor, if you get a CT scan, MRI, lab work, whatever, you can log in and you can see the results without talking to your doctor, right? I didn't get mine until 2 years ago because I just didn't want to. I wanted to talk to somebody because, see, I know how to read results. Yeah, so um, sometimes you'll see bad news, right? If you log in and you're like, especially if you have like a CT or an MRI or something, you might see those bad results in there. You might see something in there that you don't want to see. Yeah, I'm a big baby that way. So, anyways, my daughter doesn't have one. Um, some people just don't because they don't want to. It's offered to I think almost everybody now, uh, where you can have a portal that you can log on and get your results or get your test, and they also remind you of doctor appointments that's coming up. Um, they also have like medication refills. You can go right in there, and when you run out of medication, you can just push it in there. If you need a refill instead of calling in, you can push in there, punch it in to get a medication refill. So it does make it easier. It does. But what she said she was doing was going in to get her test results. All right. Hard copy to show everybody because she might not have that portal. Can she get it? Yeah, anybody can. Anybody can. But that's what she said. She didn't say she didn't have her test results back yet. She said she already has them. So, people want to say, we're going to move forward from that too. People want to say, well, she would already be in treatment, Oh, no, let's back up. Let's back up. They want to talk about her saying she has full blown cancer. We're going to talk about that. Now, I did hear the clip where she said full blown, okay? And people want to say, well, she says that she never said that. She's lying. And we hear this a lot, Um, people say that, they didn't say this, they're lying, they did say it. Here's the thing, people. Sometimes I can't remember what I said last week, all right? Um, how many videos do creators do? I mean, I've caught Natasha in a lot of lies where she says she didn't say something or whatever, and some other creators. But do I say that they're a liar? No, they might not remember what they said because they do so many videos. Can they remember exactly what they said in every video unless they go back and, I mean, I know people clip. I mean, like I said, some people spend, it's pretty obvious, they spend a lot of time on YouTube, or they have mods spend a lot of time on YouTube or whatever. But it's kind of like, have you ever had your kids come up to you and say, "Hey, mom, you said this to me, whatever, last week or, a couple weeks ago, or maybe even a couple of days ago." And you're like, "I didn't say that." "Yeah, you did, mom. You did say this." And they're very adamant about it. And you're trying for the life of you to think, did I really say that? I don't remember it. Or your kids. You know that they said a certain thing to you, but your kids are like, "No, mom." Maybe even your adult children. "I didn't say that." And you know that they did say that to you. So are you calling your child a liar? Maybe they just don't remember saying it, right? They don't remember. But what I'm trying to get at is some creators do a lot of videos, okay, daily. So can they remember everything they say, especially when they're heated? And I'm talking about Natasha too. Because a lot of people are like, "Well, she said this, she said that, or whatever." Can she remember every single thing that she said? Now, when you downright lie, okay, you put lies out there, and you know it's a lie, you're doing it for content or whatever, that's a different story. But I'm just saying, I did hear the clip because, people got to clip everything. And she said, I hear her say full blown. So people want to take that and they automatically want to think full blown is stage 4 cancer. Because people also want to think that there's stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. Stage 4 is the worst. Metastasize, right? So they automatically went with that word full blown for their narrative, I guess, want to assume that it's stage 4. She's like, should be bedbound, hair all gone, um, can't do a live. Now, I don't take it that way. I can take it a different way. I can take it as she already said that she had HPV, right? And that's not cancer. So when a woman has HPV and then they're told that it turned to cancer, to me, that could be full blown cancer. Now, or precancer cells. Precancer cells is not cancer either. It's precancer cells. But it can turn into cancer. To me, that could be full blown cancer. It's now gone from not being cancer to cancer. You get what I'm saying? Full blown cancer does not mean it has to be stage 4. Some people might want to take it that way. Jessica Lynn did not say, as far as I know, I mean, like I said, I don't listen to all videos and all the way through. I already said that before. But I have not heard her say what stage that they said she was in. But I don't think she ever said that she was stage 4. But some people, I've seen it in some chats, they just assume, what do they say when you assume? That full blown is stage 4. I've never heard a doctor say, "You got full blown." But to someone that is not just your average Joe, if you go from having precancer cells or having HPV to being told you now have cancer, to me, that could be now I got full blown cancer. It turned to cancer. No matter what stage it is, it's cancer now. Understand? Doesn't mean it's stage 4. Now, another a thing people want to say, um, and I think Jessica Lynn might have said colonoscopy and instead of colposcopy. Okay, they're two different things. And like I said, if you don't know medical terminology, they kind of sound the same. Okay, but you're looking at two different regions. Okay, um, and I know Natasha went with that. What does a colonoscopy got to do with anything? Now, she might have had a colonoscopy, but the other one looks at cervical cells, right? That's what they're looking at. And I think that's what Jessica Lynn was trying to say that she had. That's what they were, because they can look at it through a microscope or through that. And it can be a hard word to say. Sometimes I get tongue tied because, like I said, I'm on that Topamax. So I get tongue tied when I try to pronounce things that I would normally, before the Topamax, would be able to, it would just come right off the tip of my tongue because I'm used to saying it. But that's what I believe she was saying, not colonoscopy. All right? I believe that's what they were they were looking with that, okay? Colposcopy. But Natasha used that as content too. What does her colonoscopy have to do with it? I don't think that's what Jessica Lynn was talking about. Because the colposcopy would make sense, not a colonoscopy. I could be wrong. She might have had a colonoscopy because us women, at a certain age, we need those done too. I mean, she is still kind of young for that, but, um, well, not, I don't know. She is a little bit, but, we do need those done too, women. But, anyways, I think that was in my opinion, I'm just saying, I think that was a misunderstanding. It can be a hard word to say. I'm having trouble saying it now, like I said, just because the medication I'm on. So I think that is what was done. And people want to think that, there's a stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. That's it. That's wrong. Okay? It's wrong. They have stage 1, and then they have the A's, B's, and then you have stage 2. Well, they also, you got your A, B's, and C's, okay, when they stage them. You got your stage 2, same way. A, B. You got to remember those A, B's, and C's too when they stage these. All right? People forget about that. I guess if you don't, if you're not familiar with the medical field, you might not know that. Or if people have not went through it, you might not know that. It's not as simple as stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. Now, stage 1 cervical cancer is the cancer is in the neck of the womb, which is, the cervix, right? Now, the treatment for that, because here's another thing, I'm seeing it all over the place. Well, she's out in the sun or she's swimming and she would have done treatment already and she would be doing chemo and people are thinking, well, she says she's got full blown, so that's stage 4. You guys are all assuming again, all assuming. You don't know what treatment Jessica Lynn has done. You have no clue. She did say she did do something, and I didn't even catch this until today, but I already had what I was gonna say already ready to say before I heard just little bits and pieces. Like I said, I jump around. Um, when you have stage 1, if you're going to get cancer, there's a lot of different things they can do. The number one thing that they would do is a hysterectomy, okay, surgery. And then they might follow it up, it just depends, with chemo and sometimes radiation. Um, it just depends on, again, those AB, if it's stage 1B, stage 1B2, 1B3, or stage A1. I'm sorry, A1. It's 1A1, I'm sorry. And then they have 1A2, and it keeps going. That's one thing people don't understand. They have to stage it. And they do that with test. All right? It takes a little bit. They have to stage it for treatment. Now, like I said, the number one is a hysterectomy. But if you are in the very early stages, they possibly can remove some of the cervix and leave enough of the cervix and not do a full hysterectomy, not remove the uterus, not remove your ovaries. It all depends. And leave enough of the cervix to where you can still get pregnant. It's true. It just depends. Now, if you are a stage A1A, I'm saying that wrong. If you are 1A1, I don't know why I keep saying, see, it's the Dopamax, I'm telling you. 1A1, okay? If you're going to get cervical cancer, I don't want to say that's the best cancer, but that's the best stage to be at. That is the beginning stage, okay? You still have cancer, but the treatment options that you have are so there's a lot of different options. And with that option, they are able to, a lot of times, like I said, just remove some of the cervix where you could still get pregnant. They're also able to, if you are 1A1, okay, it's possible to remove all the cancer with a large loop, okay, or with the core biopsy or a core biopsy. See, there I go. I'm all tongue-tied. And that's the same procedure that they use when they are removing abnormal cells, like precancer cells. It's the same thing. A lot of people call it the loop, okay? They go in there and they remove it with the same thing. They remove the cancer cells. That's if you are stage 1A1. That could very well be what Jessica was diagnosed with. Now, I heard her say today, after I already had this all down, I heard her say that they removed 4 spots on her cervix. So I am wondering if she had this loop procedure done because they removed 4 spots on her uterus. Or cervix, I'm sorry, not uterus. If nobody believes me, okay, there's nurses out there viewing. You know what I'm saying is true, okay? It doesn't mean she doesn't have cancer because even though it was removed, you still have to be in remission, not have any symptoms for 5 years. Normally. Normally, a doctor will consider you, most doctors, many doctors, let me say many, 5 years cancer free, no, because sometimes cancer cells can be left behind or they can regroup, regrow, whatever. We know that. For 5 years, no symptoms, no whatever, for 5 years, and then you're considered cancer free. That you're a survivor, that you beat cancer. So she still has cancer, okay? Because what was removed was not pre-cancer cells, it was cancer. Even though they used the same technique, the same stuff that they would use to remove precancer cells. Now, I'm not saying this is what she had because I don't know. I wasn't in the office. I'm not Jessica's gynecologist. I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm saying that's what they can do if she was diagnosed with stage A, or stage, I'm sorry, if she was diagnosed with cervical cancer, stage 1A1, which means she would not need to have chemo, radiation. They simply could use that loop and remove, if they were able to remove the cancer cells, not pre-cancer, but the cancer cells. There's a difference of pre-cancer and full-blown cancer cells. There's a difference. Pre-cancer is not cancer. That's why it says pre in front of it. It can turn into full-blown cancer, which means there's no pre in front of it anymore. It's cancer, if that makes sense. So if she said that they removed spots on her cervix, she could very well have had this procedure done. Okay? But she still is considered to have cancer until they know that no more new growth is going to happen in the next 5 years. No other symptoms. And then she would be considered cancer free. All right? So it doesn't mean she lied. And she already had that treatment done, according to her. And I just heard that today, a little clip of that today when I was listening. I did not know that when I was preparing to talk about this. So what I'm trying to say is people are calling her a liar just because they seen test results. Or not test results. Order test. Sorry. 1 page out of 3. When she could, like I said, she could have been told, we think you have it. we think you have it. And she took it as, I got it. Oh my God, I got it, you know, to begin with. And then when she had the other test done, the blood work, and they did the pathology on it, on, the swabbing, and what they, the scraping and everything, the biopsies, whatever. And then they staged it, and then she had the spots removed. Like I said, I don't know if that's what she had done, but they can do that. And then she would not have to do chemo, radiation, or the other stuff. They removed it from using the loop. Like I said, people can look it up. Okay, it's a thing. So, I mean, it's up to Jessica if she wants to, if she feels the need that she needs to put this out there to shut people up. That's up to her. Okay, we're going to move forward from that. That's what I wanted to talk about. Um, People think they know it all when they don't. All right. Now, just like with Natasha, do I think that she has this pituitary issue? Yeah, I do. Just like I thought the first time when she had COVID. I absolutely believe she had COVID. I watched it. Um, I do believe she had COVID. And she had it pretty bad. Um, I caught some lies back then. I ain't going to point them out. Don't need to. But, you know, she had no right, Natasha had no right to put this out there. Now, people want to talk about that Jessica's patient ID is on there. That's a request ID, but that shouldn't be put out there either. None of it should have been put out there. Like I said, it's part of medical records. All right? And even though it doesn't go against HIPAA violation per se, it should. It should. Our laws need to change when it comes to HIPAA because what Natasha did was wrong, and she knows it was wrong. And she went nuts when somebody tried to call her doctor. Well, what? Really? Her community went nuts. This is wrong. It's wrong. It would be wrong if they did it to Natasha. It's wrong. Absolutely wrong. And if somebody does this to Natasha, I'll call it out. It's wrong. And people are saying that Jessica is doing something illegal, that she's raising funds for this. No, she's not. I've only heard her talk about, and it was very short talk about cervical cancer, and she did not raise funds just because she gets super chats or whatever on her channel. It wasn't for cancer, okay? Or if people are members or whatever, it had nothing to do with cancer. So these people that are trying to make a narrative that she is collecting money and she's lying about it, for one, you're accusing her of lying about having cancer when you don't know. You don't know that's a fact. There's the first thing. The second thing, she has not collected any money for cancer. She has not dropped any fundraiser saying this is for my cancer treatments or I have cancer. None of that has happened. All right? So that's false. That's false information. All right? That is lying. You guys are lying. Whoever is saying that, it's a lie. And I seen that going around. I also seen something in chat where someone said we should mass report to Jessica Lynn's probation officer. And that same person said if Jessica Lynn, this was in Natasha's chat, if Jessica Lynn keeps digging, she will find herself 6 feet under. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it said just saying. I don't think the mods caught that. People could say, oh, that's out of context. Whatever. Okay? Is that a death threat? I mean, this is getting ridiculous. And Jessica Lynn, in my opinion, has every right to go after her legally. She does. Now, people want to say, well, and I heard this too, that, well, Jessica Lynn, I know Natasha said, well, I'll see her in court because she built her channel to bully and go after me. Jessica Lynn did say she built her channel. It was going to be an awareness channel about Natasha, and I do think there is clips to, go after her. But here's the thing. There's many times that Jessica Lynn does not talk about Natasha. She might be talking about, other things. There's a lot of times on her videos where, she's out in nature doing whatever. She might be talking about whatever, okay? She might be talking about somebody else. There's times where she has not even talked about Natasha. So that might have been what her channel started out as, but and there's a clap back and forth, right? Back and forth. It's one thing on YouTube, the clap back and forth, it's another thing to go real life. Putting out medical records is going real life. Okay? Um Doing some other things is going real life. Uh Bringing Jessica Lynn's dad into this is going real life. Now again, I haven't seen everything. Talking about a woman's and making it content, talking about her vag, okay, her hoo-ha. I don't know. So I know that the channels have went down, but if you take videos after, take all, and people have them, I know they do. They have all of Natasha's videos, and I'm sure they have all of Jessica Lynn's videos. So if all of those went to the court, and they found out, Natasha has been had all of her channels taken down by YouTube because they say it goes against terms of service. I don't know how that'll play out in the court of law because YouTube is saying that Natasha has done something wrong and that's why her channels have went down. I don't know. And going back to people saying about Jessica Lynn's, fund, I seen some saying that she's going to get a felony or whatever because of faking cancer. Again, you're assuming, okay? And she hasn't got any funds for that. She hasn't made any type of PayPal's or anything for cancer. But Natasha did have a fund going. I don't care who made it or whatever for COVID, for food. But she bought all of these summer or winter clothes because she said she had COVID fog back when she first had COVID. She bought a ton of, there was donations. People were donating for food. I don't know. And then you got the 20K. Let's talk about it. Because she wants to talk about Jessica Lynn's vacation fund. And I've heard a lot about that. How dare Jessica Lynn ask her subs to pay for a vacation fund? Really? Seriously. With all the funds that Natasha has put up, dropped or whatever, with all these weird names to it. But Jessica Lynn has had one up for a vacation fund for her children. Those make memories. I'm sorry. It's no big deal. It's the same, what's the difference? Natasha fills them up and then drops another one, and then fills it up and drops another one with the most ridiculous names. I don't care. People like your content, so they're going to donate, right? So Jessica Lynn just puts one up for, and she keeps it up to take her kids on vacation that's going to make memories that the kids are going to remember for a lifetime. But people have a problem with that. But they're okay with all these weird names, and they get dropped. I can't tell you how many. They get dropped continuously, but that's completely okay. So Jessica Lynn decided, she's going to raise money, and she changed the amount, I guess. Natasha was talking about it. She changed the amount from 10,000, I think, to 2,000. And I just listened to a little bit of Natasha this morning. She changed the amount, and people are starting to donate a little bit to it to take Natasha down. I guess it was to take her down legally when I seen it last night. And Natasha's like 2,000. You can't even get a consultation for that. I know many attorneys where you can get free consultations. Your first time to talk to them, it's a free consultation. Many attorneys. If you look up, you can Google them and stuff, or even call them, and the first consultation's free. Many attorneys. So I don't know. Um, and Jessica Lynn did say that she was going to be transparent about the money. Now, Natasha, it's been going on almost 8 months with this 20K, and nobody has seen shit. They haven't seen squat. That was a lot of money raised for harassment on the internet harassment, whatever. Nobody has seen anything. Nothing. Now, back in February, she did say that people are going to start seeing something. Something's going to happen, and, they're going to see where that 20K went. Still nothing. Absolutely nothing. And we are going to talk about that here just a little bit, because in my opinion, Natasha has no room to talk about what anybody else is raising for anything, because she refuses to show any type of transparency, any, about the 20K she got. And it was supposed to be a legit fundraiser for a legit cause, not one of these PayPals that you drop down with a funny name, not people donating because they like your content, okay? For a legit cause. There is a difference. Same goes with Jessica Lynn. This is for a legit cause, okay? So the money should be, every bit of it, transparent and go for this cause. And we're going to get into this. So if somebody is doing supposed to be a legit fundraiser for a cause, and especially when they say that, their channel is their business, right? Business name, whatever. And they raise money for it. No matter if you donate or not, because a lot of people are saying it doesn't matter if you donate. Or it does matter, I'm sorry. If you didn't donate, then you have no say in it. And that's a bunch of BS, because that's just like, and I've said it before, that's like if the Red Cross or any other corporation or whatever, if they say, hey, we had this family, we had this crisis or whatever, and, we want you to donate, they reach out and people donate, and then you find out that, the money didn't go to what this organization or this person said it went to, there'd be an outrage. There'd be an investigation. It's kind of like a GoFundMe, okay? If somebody says there was a crisis, medical issue, whatever, and people donated to it. Maybe some people didn't donate to it. And you find out that it was a lie. It was a lie. And these people collected money. I know that's illegal, okay? And they can get into some serious trouble with the law. And I know there's been, you see it on Facebook all the time where people have gotten in trouble legally because they raised money under false pretenses. The same thing goes here. And I do know that there is a creator that asked for her money back. Now, at the time, she was in the community and she believed that there was attorneys and stuff, and she had a falling out with Natasha, and she donated what, $1,000? That's quite a bit of money. And I know it's been, 5 months, and Natasha always said, if you want your money back, you can have your money back. Well, this creator decided she wanted her money back after the fallout or whatever because she's not seeing anything happening, nothing. And Natasha's refusing to give her money back, and a lot of her supporters are saying, well, when you donate money, you shouldn't get your money back. Now, I agree with that to a point. If you are donating money, say, to the creator, PayPal, you drop your link or whatever and you donate money because you like content and stuff like that. No, you shouldn't get your money back because you had a falling out. I get that. But when it comes to something like this, that's different. If you have a falling out with somebody and it's been months later and you have noticed that nothing has happened with any type of legal funds, nothing. You are not seeing any transparency at all because remember, the name changed, right? And she said that she's not going after anybody for harassment. That's what the name was to begin with. It was for online harassment and bullying or whatever. That's what it was to begin with. And then when a lot of these people are saying, we're not getting any paperwork, we're not getting nothing, we haven't got squat, saying she was going after us. Then she said, I'm not going after anybody legally for harassment. You'll see what I'm gonna do. You'll see. Well, right there, that would say that's kind of fraud because, wouldn't it? Because that's what the money was raised for, was for harassment. So if you're not going to go after the people for harassment, okay. So this creator wants her money back because she is not seeing any movement in almost 8 months. She's not seeing nothing. So in her mind, I'm sure she's thinking there is no attorneys. Attorneys. A she attorney, a he attorney, then attorneys, whatever. So she wants her money back. And Natasha's saying, nope, you're not getting it back. And then I think I've already said it back in February. She did say February, late February or whatever, you all are going to see where that 20K is. Still nothing. Absolutely nothing. Now, I did say that, with these channels now going down, I'm not a conspiracy person or whatever, but I just find it kind of strange that these channels went down and some people are, asking for their money back. Well, this person in particular, and it's a pretty good amount, that the channels went down. But yet Natasha really didn't, she did lose some money, with memberships, okay? But she's not losing out really because she started a Patreon. She's got, 200 people The minimum is $5 to join. And I'm sure it goes up to what, 20 some dollars? And I'm sure there's people in there that are paying more than the $5 to join. She started that. She started memberships for something else. She was dropping her PayPal link in other creators' their uh, their chats or whatever. She would go up on their panels, and they were dropping it for her, and people were filling it up, her PayPals. They were sending cash apps, don't know what those are, but she was filling up her stuff pretty quick. Some creators were donating their super chats. She was still getting in her makeup sales on her daughter's channel before it got taken down. Um, she was still bringing in the money. She has never left YouTube. And then she would create, well, I don't know, she was using other backup channels when she's not supposed to be on YouTube. If your channel is terminated, or if you are, um, everybody wants to say she's on pause, whatever, okay? Pause, terminated, whatever. If you are under any type of um, timeout, okay? If you are in trouble with YouTube and your channel was taken down for any reason, you are not allowed to own or go under another channel and go live. It says that right there under their TOS. But she kept doing it, okay? She would come back with another channel, drop that link, be on there to get money, fill it up as fast as she can, drop another link. So she was bringing in the income, all right, going against TOS. She was. I really don't care, okay? That's her business. I don't care. But when it comes to the 20K, again, really don't care. But, a lot of people want to talk about it. And she wants to talk about Jessica's fund here. I don't know. It just seems really weird about the channels going down when a lot of people are talking about the 20K. And I did say that the 20K would possibly be said that it all went to her attorneys to bring these channels back. And that would be the end of, well, you guys can't talk about the 20K anymore because I used it all up trying to get my channels back. But there'll be no transparency. We will never see, I'm sorry, in my opinion, we will never see any letter like Save Robbie showed where the attorneys said, and you can actually look up the attorney and find out they're real, say, we were obtained on this date, and this is the amount that was used to do this type of work, like Save Robbie did. There'll be nothing. Absolutely nothing. And in my opinion, that is fraud. It's fraud. And it does hurt other creators that do any type of funds for a cause like this, or maybe another cause. Maybe they're helping a family out, or an animal out, or maybe there is a major crisis and they're doing something. It looks bad, and that's just my opinion, okay? So besides that, I'm gonna say, in my opinion, there is no douche canoe, okay? Some people were saying that she was using this douche canoe to get people to donate, and I'm like, I don't know. But then I really seen it the other day. I think it was yesterday. Seeing it hardcore when I wasn't seeing any super chats when they kept saying that Jessica Lynn was getting all these super chats and was adding it up, and it was like $500, $600, $700. I didn't see any super chats at that time, and I was looking at Jessica Lynn's and then going back to Natasha's and going back and forth. I wasn't seeing them, okay? But then she's like, I know Douche Canoe, supposedly Douche Canoe's texting her. She said that she's blocking him. How can he be texting her then if she's blocking him? I mean, is he like making up, this person just keeps making up phone numbers, alt names, and phone numbers, not talking about anything but the money. Kind of strange. And saying Jessica Lynn's getting all this money, and you're only at 8% on your thing. And she keeps yelling at this douche canoe, and then all of a sudden people are starting to donate to her when she yells about douche canoe. And I have seen this a little bit beforehand where she would be talking about douche canoe, and I know no one's donating to me, douche canoe, and then I see some people start donating. So I'm seeing that as an MO too. So it's kind of hard not to be biased when you're seeing this behavior. Other people that are loyal to her are not going to see this. They're not going to see this behavior because they are so loyal. But I do not believe this douche canoe exists. I think this is used as donate to me, or kind of a sad fishing thing, because she was really on to what Jessica Lynn, what people were donating. Um, and she is not getting money for any type of cancer. So people can just, stop it with that. Again, with the attorneys too. Um, if people can't open their eyes and see that, I'm sorry, most attorneys are not going to give you their cell numbers. I mean, I've already said before, I got two good friends of mine that I went to high school with that are attorneys. And, with COVID, there was really a backup. I mean, everything's opened up now, but a lot of them, they had to do Zoom meetings and everything else, and stuff was backed up, court cases and stuff like that. But Natasha is a celebrity, and this YouTube stuff is so important that she has their cell numbers. Could you imagine if an attorneys gave their clients their cell numbers, how they would blow them up all the time, right? But she can get a hold of them first try, text, whatever, on Sunday nights, on the weekend. A lot of attorneys, they got families. They also bring their work at home, and they don't want to be bothered. Their time's limited. They're busy. But they're in her chat, so they would have to, make up a channel name under the name of attorney. So, they would have to do that. And then, late at night, at midnight, watch her hours long videos, and be texting her too at the same time. She formed this really good relationship, they're besties, these attorneys and her. And also say some really kind of not so nice things about Jessica Lynn, and she reads it out. Very unprofessional for attorneys to do, especially if she was taking Jessica Lynn to court. Jessica Lynn, I'm sure, has that clip and saying, yeah, look what this attorney did. Look what this attorney did. What they said about me to the world. Social media, YouTube, is not just the people that are in your chat. It's out to the world, and it's there forever. So I'm sorry, I don't believe it for a minute that there is any attorneys, okay? I don't. That's just my opinion. I don't think attorneys would be watching all these lives and be a fan of hers. And they would have told her, I'm sorry, in my opinion, they would have told her, hey, we are fighting to get your channels back that you really want, especially your true crime. And you should not be coming back. I mean, it's in TOS. You should not be coming back with channels and having them taken down, and coming back with another, having it taken down, because if we have to go to court over this or whatever, YouTube is going to show that you are not going by their rules, and that you are not being a responsible creator, because you will not wait for everything you won't let us do our job. We're trying to get your main channels back, but you keep coming back with other channels and having them taken down, because I do believe it's an IP issue. How she has the one back she has, I don't know. People have their theories. I don't care. But that's my opinion. They would have told her, you have other platforms right now that you're on making money. So stick with those and let us do our job instead of keep coming back. And don't be doing this, you know, normally if you're going to go after somebody or try to and prove that they are harassing you or whatever, they wouldn't condone some of the stuff that she's doing, and they would tell her not to engage. Again, my opinion. So with that, I'm going to go. This going real life, and she went real life. I don't care what anybody says. Those are medical records. They are part of medical records. Test results, tests that are ordered. There's no test results here. Those are tests that are ordered. People in the back, those are part of your medical records. She put out medical records, okay? She's the one that did it. No matter who gave it to her, whoever gave it to her, you're wrong. But she put them out. And I'm sorry, people need to finally be held responsible for doing bad things. And it's clear that Natasha, even though she raised that $20K, she isn't doing anything. She's not. It's clear. So it's about time that somebody stood up and said, we're not okay with this. We're not okay with people going real life, and something needs to be done about it. YouTube is not putting a stop to it. They seem to try to put a stop to, Natasha keep coming back. I don't know why her channels were taken down, but it seemed like they tried. But something needs to be done about going real life. And the only way that it's going to stop is if somebody does go legal on somebody finally and say, we're not going to put up with this by anybody, and make an example. Okay? Or it's not going to stop. And if people end up, it's going beyond just losing your channel. Somebody needs to get into legal trouble. Okay? And that's what it's going to take. And yes, Jessica Lynn took her 10,000 and put it down to 2,000, but that doesn't mean that she can reach that. She can reach that 2,000 and keep building it up, make another one with the same name and build it up. Okay? And in my opinion, something needs to be done, because putting medical records, I think that is that's a big deal. That's a big deal. I mean, the rest of it is too. Going after people, but it's about time that somebody takes a legal stand and finally says and shows proof, transparency of where the money's going, and that we should all stand up and say, no, we're not taking this. Somebody needs to stop this and go legal, and something needs to be done, or this is going to continue, because it's getting worse out there. People are going lower and lower and lower. So with that, I'm going to go. And it's the only way, like I said, it's the only way anybody's going to learn a lesson, in my opinion. So we'll catch you again. I'm not sure what I'm going to do next. This video went a lot longer than I wanted it to, but I thought it was important to get out there. Poor behavior, if you condone it, something's wrong with you. You need to go get some help, because you sure would throw a fit. Anybody out there in the YouTube streets would throw a fit if that was your name, if that was your medical records, it's medical records, guys. I don't care what you want to say. If that was yours and it was out there in YouTube, you would throw a fit and you would want to do something about it.